Hello everyone and welcome to the PSGL season finale here in Abu Dhabi. F123, of course. First run of Q1 and we're here in the final sector going underneath the iconic hotel section. Really difficult track to nail here. And really difficult track to nail the strategy on as well. As we come out the final corner and we run up to the line, going up provisionally P7, that turns into P9, and we are going to have to go again. New set of tyres, one chance to make it through. My previous lap time will definitely not be good enough. So that being said, into turn one, up green on the delta already. That's what we need to be doing. Carry the momentum throughout the rest of the lap. Into the end of the first sector. Into the point zeros in sector one. What we need to be doing, squirming for traction as we exit the corner onto the DRS back straight. Oh so critical to get a good exit here. Into the braking zone, onto the curb, and you can see that we're going to lock up the rears with the RNG part of the curb, and that has cost me so much time in the middle sector. We were down, we were red on the delta. To explain it a little bit more, there is, well, factually it is faster to drive over that curb. It should not be this way in my opinion, but you have to do it. But there's always an element of luck and randomness with this curb to get it right as you're bouncing over the curbing and should not be correct. This is why I refer to it as RNG. So we are going to have to put out a sacrifice of our lives to get through Q1 here, and we do that final corner and we find half a tenth.
Man, I'm so bored of these RNG.
And you can hear my comments straight away after as we do go through into Q2 saying so bored of the RNG curves. And yes, it's just purely based on the fact it can happen on turn one as well. We shouldn't need to be bouncing over these curves, but it's faster, so you have to do it as a driver trying to meet the top level competition on this game. And it does introduce a factor of randomness about it that should not be there, because you can do the same inputs consistently, and it can sometimes have varied effect on the car. Sometimes can lock the front tyre, can sometimes lock the rear tyre, and on that instance lock the front tyre. Into the chicane one more time, Q2, final run, and you can see actually this time it rotated the car beautifully despite the fact of doing pretty much exactly the same input. I say pretty much because it's very difficult to do the same input twice while travelling this fast. And going from having one of the worst sector ones in Q1 to actually going purple in sector 2 in Q2 just shows how much of a difference it can make with that curbing as we are now coming through. And I'm looking just to bring the lap home now as we're going through the final sector, 1.5 tenths up on the delta, and this should be easily enough to get us through into Q3. So we play it a little bit safe on the final corner and we run up to the line and we go P2, and that will be enough to put us through into the top 10 shootout. First lap is going to be on the worn tyres, as I was not able to save any rubber from Q1 and Q2 doing Q2 runs on both sessions, what meant the first lap of Q3 is always going to be on a worn set of tyres. But with that being said, we did a 21.0, and that actually put us P4 amongst other people who had fresh tyres, and even ahead of people who had fresh tyres. So that was a really lap that I'm super happy with, super proud of. But that being said, now we've got a fresh set of tyres on, fresh set of boots, and it is time to hook up the lap here in Abu Dhabi. Running down to turn one, brake on the curb, down to 5th gear, let the car rotate, beautiful through turn one, kiss the apex, get on the power sweetly, flat out through turn 3. Running up into turn 4, hard on the brake, let the car rotate, you go down a bit of a dip as you meet the apex, hard back on the power, and now we are half a tenth up and gaining on the straight as well. coming up the chicane. We need to send it late on the break, but also get a good exit. Very difficult combination to master. And you can see now we get a little bit of a rear lock up with the curb. So it wasn't ideal, it wasn't perfect. And you can see now the traction was limited on the exit. But nevertheless, we still pull out a 10th up on our delta in the middle sector. Purple sector 1, green sector 2. And now we're into the final sector, and this is time to make it happen. Extract the most grit from the tyres possible coming down into the hotel section. Arguably the hardest part of the track. Clip the apex nicely, and we pick up a little bit of understeer on the first apex, and it limits our rotation. And now we get a good exit, nevertheless, though, into the final 2 corners. Flat out. Focus on the final corner. In the braking zone, get the rotation, clip the apex, hard on the power like we do, almost 2 tenths up on the delta, and that puts us P2 in qualifying. The only person within a 10th of Bari who did a really phenomenal lap. Full credit to him, but now full focus is on the race. We are going to be starting on the soft compound tyres. Ultra aggressive, but it is going to need to work. We're all eyes on winning this race. 5 lights and away we go, and we get a slightly better start than Bari, but he still gets a really good start, especially considering being on those medium compound tyres. Look around the outside. I know that's not going to work. Bari is in a must-win position in this race here today. If he wants to win the Drivers' Championship, he has to win the race. And we know that, and we're going to be working that to our advantage and strategically placing our car in the places and the strategy as well that can give us the maximum chance of winning this race. Of course, always to be respectful, and I'm not going to directly interfere with their championship battle, as I think this is what is right to do as a driver, is to not negatively interfere with their battle. Drive your own race, maximize your own potential, but don't get caught up in dirty, overly aggressive move against championship contenders. As you can see, we did take the lead from Bari on the first lap. We did a little weave there just to sort of signify to him, hey, cool, I'm happy to chill. I don't want to fight you in a stupid way. Let's work together. And he did not overtake, or try to overtake, into the left-hander. With that being said, as you can see now, we're starting to pull away on these soft compound tyres. Half a second to Bari behind us. But we knew at this point it's going to be very difficult to break the DRS. So we start to save tyres, save battery, and work ourselves into a better position for later on in the race. Lap 4, DRS is now active, and Bari has decided that he wants to try and take the lead and manage the race from there. What I am more than happy for him to do so. As you can see, we show him the inside line. We don't fight him. We give him the option to go up the inside, and we don't even try to look around the outside. We just fall back into position very nicely and start to progress onto lap 6. And we were leaving a very nice gap ahead of us to not make sure we slide the tyres. We don't slide the tyres, I should say. We don't overheat the engine. We can manage the battery and manage the tyres and manage the engine temperature accordingly. So when it is time to strike and it is time to fight, we have all the potential in the world. Plus, there was a bit of gamesmanship going on right now. I was trying to show or make it seem like my tyres were more worn than they actually were. And then at the end of the stint, we could close up very nicely. And as we have done now, you can see lap 8, I'm trying to stay behind Bari. I do not actually want to overtake him at this point in time, as it would fall better into our strategy. Lap 9, we do decide to go past him into this game. I know full well that Bari will come back past me on the next straight. So I was basically going past him to sort of defend myself against Ismail Fassi, who's driving a phenomenal race so far, right up in P4. So yeah, we knew that Bari was going to come back past us on the second straight anyway, so this was not a concern for me. We just let him go back past and didn't really use anything to defend against it. And you can see now, lap 11, we're going to be riding on board for this full lap. Bottom right hand side, time to box. That's what it says, and we are going to be ultra aggressive. We're going to be boxing at the end of this lap onto the medium compound tyres, and we're going to be stretching those tyres oh so long in this Grand Prix. We're going to have to focus on tyre wear, tyre deg, battery usage, but we believe we can do it. With that being said, we're going to deploy the same strategy here. We're going to go past Bari on the first straight, knowing that he's going to come back past us on the second straight. And that's fully okay with me, because what I wanted in this situation is if Bari was going to be coming into the pit lane this lap, I wanted to be behind him coming out of the pit lane so I could get the DRS detection point and then have the DRS on the next 2 straights after that. If he was to box in this lap, he would be going to the hard compound tyres and I would be going to the medium compound tyres. And with that offset of difference, it would give me a chance to try and break away from the DRS. So we decided to play it strategical and follow him through this final sector and see if he was going to go into the pit lane. We know we're going to go to the pit lane. Will Bari go into the pit lane? He does not. And now we are going to be folding in, putting on the medium compound tyres, and this was a very good sign for me indeed, because I knew what I could do on the tyre wear, I knew what I could do on the tyre saving in practice, and I knew that I could stretch these tyres quite reasonably comfortably to the end of the race as well.
Cut him to press battery if you can.
With that being said, now is time to extract the maximum pace from these tyres in these opening laps, build the gap, build the advantage, and you see coming across the line, starting lap 14, we do the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, and a Caraton has boxed. And now we are starting to work with Ika. He's doing a fantastic race as well, and basically we're starting to work with him because we're both in the same situation, we both boxed in the same lap, and we can use each other's DRS to help each other along and save battery in this time as well. The Williams were doing exactly the same thing behind us. You can see 2.7 seconds, lap 21. We look to the outside and dive down the inside to get track position one more time. But yeah, the Williams behind were doing exactly the same strategy, leapfrogging each other on the DRS. And despite being on so much older tyres compared to the Williams behind, we were maintaining the gap, if not sometimes even pulling away on some laps as well, showing the pace that we had and the time management we had, and also Ika had as well. Full credit to him, he was doing a fantastic job managing his tyres as well. You can see the gap now is up to 2.6 seconds, but now a new card has been thrown into the equation. What looked to be quite comfortable between me and Ika, Thomas Ronhart,
If I can overtake without using the battery,
is
way better.
now on ultra fresh medium compound tyres, and he's going to be dragging the 2 Williams along in the DRS zone behind him. But even with being said, I knew that I managed my tyres well, I knew that we managed the battery well, and even with tyres being fresher on cars behind, I still really believed we had a fantastic chance to win this race. We just had to stay calm, play it cool, maintain track position, and it would be very difficult for cars behind to make something happen. See now, lap 26, we're going through the castle section, and we're able to maintain and build a gap to the cars behind as well. And of course, we're going to have a tyre disadvantage, just because they have so much fresher tyres. But with the time management that we did, we put ourselves in a phenomenal position. Starting lap 28, Ika did go back past us on the DRS straight as we were still doing that strategy of jumping each other. And as I was doing with Bari at the start of the race, I was managing the gap for the cars ahead.
And Ika?
I asked for the battery of the 2 cars around me, Ika and Thomas, and we had more battery than both of them as well. So we have done a fantastic job managing the battery. You can see we left the gap to Eco ahead as well, so we could manage the engine temperatures and still be super fast on the straight. Going past into the braking zone, you can see we get the move done. And you can see Thomas and Ismail, I think, actually had a collision, and that has now given me and Ica a chance to break away. And this is now looking like a bit of a 2-horse fight between us, but still, anything can happen. Anything will go down. But because of that drama behind us, now has made a situation that we have to lead onto the final lap of the race. So we are going to need to pull out the best of these tyres. We have more battery than the cars behind. We probably have a little bit more tyre wear in hand as well. But that being said, we are going to need to nail this final lap into the final corner. We don't get lucky on the curb. As you can see, it bounced the car a little bit with the RNG,
Radio silence, please.
as I talked about earlier in this video. In qualifying, you can see I asked for radio silence because we need to focus. Turn 1, completely on the limit. We built about a tenth of a gap through turn 1. Turn 3, easily flat out. Just manage the tyres through there, open up the road. 4 tenths behind into turn 4. Beautiful to the apex. You can see just completely on the limit of the traction, building the gap almost to 5 tenths on the exit as well, weaving to break the slipstream, using a lot of battery, and now we're going to be ahead into the braking zone. We decided to do that rather than be at risk from Caraton. We decided to keep the lead and try and put it all on our shoulders for this final straight, final lap of the season, final chance to defend this race lead. And you can see Ika's going to have the overspeed going on the outside. We squeeze him to the outside of the track, maximize his distance. We go down the inside of left-hander. We maintain the lead into the final sector of the track, and we are now home set, and we just need to make sure that we remain dry going into these final corners. Yeah, what we did, we forced him around the outside, made his distance even longer on the straight, and that just about gave us enough distance to maintain the car side by side and maintain the lead into the apex of the corner. With that being said though, through the final corner, and we are going to win.
Let's go! Come on. Yeah! Prepare, man! I'm sorry for Ica. I'm sorry for Ica, but... Yes!
As you can see, I am so hyped up right now after that race. That race put us, of course, with our 2nd win of the season, 5th podium of the season, and put us 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. We missed 2 races. We had a lot of drama, a lot of misfortune as well, but that can happen for any driver. But I am so happy to be P2 in the championship. Only 2 points off winning the championship as well. Congratulations to Yano. He did an amazing season, fantastic job all year, and was a thoroughly deserving champion as well, I have to say. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. After not so many game cycles that were what I wasn't happy with, to start this game cycle with being P2 and only 2 points off the winning the championship against the driver of F1 esports drivers, championship against F1 esports drivers, I should say, I'm very happy with, and that puts me in a very positive mindset, a lot of confidence going forward into F1 esports. With that being said though, I will catch you in the next video. I've been Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching this season as a whole. Let me know in the comments what your highlight of the PSGL season has been, and I will get back to the comments to you as much as I can. I've been Brendon Leigh. Grazie, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Bye.